In the not-so-distant future, a time-traveling experiment known as the Tempest program was undergoing their first live trial. This did not go according to plan. Unknown to anyone, an extra-dimensional force, known by the call sign of Orion 3, seized control of the test aircraft, hurling plane and pilot off course and around time. Their mission, the complete destruction of Tempest 1. Now, faced with incredible odds against him, the game show reviewer ducks in and out of time, still managing to review his favorite game shows while staying one step ahead of the evil forces, and all the while still hoping that his next leap will be the leap home.
On your mark, get set, go! No, not this Double Dare. Well, I gotta admit, well, what do you think, the throw and the statue? No. Look, okay, I'm getting sick of this joke, okay? So you know what? Let's talk about this one. New segment on the show, reviewers 5-minute reviews. First segment, Double Dare 1978. Let's take care of this once and for all.
Take a risk. Take a chance. Take a dare. Play the game of Double Dare.
Okay, my first correction here. Double Dare premiered on December 13th, 1976. See, that's what you get when I'm not prepared. Your announcer was originally Johnny Olson, then later Gene Wood, and hosting is none other than Jeopardy legend to be Alex Trebek.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good to have you joining us once again on Double Dare. Thank you. All right, I hope you haven't exhausted all your supply of applause, because right now, before we get the game started, we want to introduce our players. Gene?
You know, this show actually gives me the perfect opportunity to talk about set design, actually. See, the game shows of the 70s tended to have what I like to refer to as a back smoking lounge feel to them. The tones are very earthy and it all feels very, well, warm. The golden era of the 80s figured out that bright colors will be more attractive to your eye. The 90s, well, they didn't change much, except a lot of the sets tended to be more home-based, I guess. And when the new millennium came around, the producers just decided to go with this hollowed-out metallic bars look. I need look no further than this for the shining example of this style. Okay, back to Double Dare. This show makes extensive use of the soundproof booth gimmick, similar to 21 from the 50s. And actually its gameplay structure is very similar to 21 as well. Our two contestants here are in separate isolation booths where they can be sealed off by closing the doors, apparently. Anyways, here's how this game worked. Alex would first reveal a person, place, or thing to the viewing audience, and then he would then start reading off clues about this person, place, or thing to the contestants. The clues start off rather obscure and then get more and more specific as time goes on. It's sort of like reading off a Wikipedia page to someone without knowing what the heck the page is about. By the way, these rounds are worth a total of $350 apiece, and I'll explain that in a minute. At any point, a contestant can buzz in to guess the subject. Should the contestant guess the subject correctly, they would be awarded $50. An incorrect response, however, puts them out of the game for a single clue, called the penalty clue. This clue, and a free guess, would be given to the other contestant. Should they guess incorrectly, no harm, no foul, except they now know a clue the other contestant didn't. Anyways, after a correct guess had been made, the contestant would have the option of daring their opponent to answer with one additional clue. Should the dared contestant guess correctly, they would also be granted $50 and a new round would start. An incorrect guess, however, granted the additional $100 to the darer. Now, the original guessing contestant can double dare their opponent with one last clue. Oh, and by the way, they don't have to issue these dares, they can just pass them up if they wanted to. The double dare clue is worth $100 to the dared contestant and an additional $200 to the contestant issuing the dare.
Here's the clue. What is it, Carol?
Johnny Cash.
No, it's Burl Ives. And that means Rosemary's the new champion with a total of $550.
Basically, this is simply a race to the $500 mark, hence the reason I mentioned this is similar to 21. First contestant to reach that $500 mark would move on to the bonus round. Now, as usual, if you haven't seen the show, then consider this a spoiler alert for the endgame. In fact, here they are now. Yes, these are the spoilers, and they are a big part of the bonus round. Each one is the holder of a PhD, so getting something past these folks should be rather difficult. Okay, so in this round, the contestant would be given the person, place, or object and shown this board. Behind those 8 squares are 8 clues about the subject. All the player has to do is give half of them to the spoilers without them guessing the subject. They had the option of passing if they thought the clue was too obvious, but they could only do this 4 times. Should a spoiler manage to guess the subject at any point in this round, the spoiler would be awarded $100 and retired from the round. Every time a contestant got a clue past a spoiler, however, the contestant would be awarded $100. And should they manage to clear 4 clues past all 3 spoilers, the contestant's winnings is bumped up to a solid $5,000. The returning champion rules in effect here, so a new contestant would be introduced and a new front game round would start. Returning champions could remain as long as they want. Well, that is until they hit the network-imposed winning cap of $25,000. Double Dare lasted from December 13th, 1976 to April 27th, 1977. Sadly, no show from this point forward would really resemble this one, so you could really consider it a footnote in game show history. The thing is, this show was just average. Really nothing to brag about. I mean, it had a good premise, a good host, and a fairly good execution. Double Dare had replaced another show called Gambit when it premiered. The problem with Gambit was that it wasn't growing stale, it was facing off against Wheel of Fortune on NBC. Yeah, that didn't work in Double Dare's favor. CBS made an attempt to save the show by switching its time spot against Sanford and Son reruns on NBC. But that didn't work either, and Double Dare finally tanked on April 29, 1977. And although Double Dare might be gone, several sound effects and music cues were recycled for other shows.
We take a look at clue number 1.
We don't want to see that happen.
425, let's check it. Oh.
And of course, its main theme, written by Ed Kalehoff, was recycled for Card Sharks. And you know what other theme he wrote? I swear I'm not kidding. But he wrote the main theme for Nickelodeon's Double Dare. There, I managed to tie the old Double Dare to the new Double Dare. Man, I can't believe I blew the big dramatic reveal for this show. Well, maybe I didn't. Okay, fellow time travelers, time to return you to Double Dare.
Do join us next time around right here on Double Dare. Until we see you then, Alex Trebek, have a good day.
Space Monkey Mafia Studios.